Sports pregame show, sponsored by Sprite.
Hey everybody, welcome to 2K Sports. Well, a few games under our belts now. We get a feel for how this season is going. Along with Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. It's basketball out in Memphis, FedEx Forum to be exact. We'll see the Grizzlies go up against the New Orleans Pelicans. And for New Orleans, after splitting their first two games of the season, tonight's game gives them a chance to get their record over the 500 mark and maybe get a little momentum on their side. Hey, Dr. O'Neal, what do you make of the job that Dave Yeager has done with the Memphis Grizzlies?
He steady keeps his cool throughout any situation, Ernie. He always keeps things in perspective for his team. He keeps it light, never gets too intense on the sideline, and he always puts his players' health first.
That sounds a lot like you.
Yes, well, they call me the doctor.
Because you keep it light. You're steady. You always keep things in perspective.
Yes.
All of these things sound like you, Dr. O'Neal.
I'm changing my name to the Big Dave Yeager.
I think that's a winner. Let's go to Kevin Harlan.
Let's meet your Memphis Grizzlies. Number 21, Tayshaun Prince. Number 9, Tony Allen. Number 11, Mike Conley. Number 50, Zach Randolph. Number 33, Marc Gasol. Your head coach is David Yeager.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Along with Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. It's Western Conference NBA action. The Memphis Grizzlies here at home, getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team. They were dominated last year. Not a good matchup for them, going 1-3 in the season series.
Well, and somewhat surprisingly, they actually lost the season series last year, and playoff status apparently meant nothing when it came to how they matched up.
Now, the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. Gordon is the 2, with Evans playing small forward. Davis and Ashik patrol the paint. And it's Holiday in at the point guard. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Holiday against Conley. Gasol, a screen on Holiday. Right side, Randolph. Uses the glass to drop it in. Randolph's got the opening bucket of the night here for the Grizzlies. Clark, they should not have dropped that series. I mean, that was just sloppy.
I agree with you, Kevin. I think some teams just get underestimated. Plenty of teams can give you trouble if you assume you're going to come in and use them as a doormat. You got to be ready to play every time you lace them up.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
Now here's Conley. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
And when you talk about his scoring, Kevin, I mean, with the defense trying to pressure him, I thought he did a really nice job of getting them to overcommit, and you know, that's how he got himself to the free throw line.
Now Now here's Gordon. He's coming off a 22-point game against Dallas. They get a hand on it, and that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I briefly spoke with Dave Yeager. One player who's really on his mind in this matchup is Eric Gordon. He said of Gordon, he can shoot with deep range and has the strength and explosiveness to go by you if you overcommit and finish or get himself to the line. So he's just an underrated scorer in this league, and it's going to take a total team effort to slow him down. Kevin, we'll see how they do.
Thanks, Doris. And here's Randolph. After Eric Gordon hit the three. Dishes to Gasol. 6 on the shot clock. No one near Conley as he lets it go. No good on the triple.
Omer Asik, one of the premier defensive centers in the league. He's got size, mobility, and a great IQ for defensive positioning.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Davis has got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 from the floor, so a good start for this club.
Back to Conley. Allen kicks to Gasol. They need this, and the shot is good.
Gasol with the shot.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Davis setting the pick for Holiday. Kicks it out to Gordon. There's the three, and again, New Orleans with the triple.
A good open look, and he splashes home the three.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. Outside Conley. Pass to Randolph. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
Boy, he can be a matchup nightmare inside the paint.
The New Orleans Pelicans come into this one after the win against Dallas.
Well, they own the boards at both ends of the floor in that game. I thought that was what won it for them more than anything else.
Well, that was the one area they knew they could exploit in the matchup, and boy, did they ever exploit it.
Now here is Holiday. A 14-point game for him in the win against Dallas.
He was exquisite in that game, Kevin. It wasn't just the scoring, it was the passing, too, and his teammates, you could tell, were just really enjoying playing with him.
Now Allen, following Drew Holiday's 3-point attempt. Allen passes to Randolph. 6 on the shot clock. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Zach Randolph is a terrific rebounder and scorer. In his prime, you could just mark up 20 points and 12 rebounds a night, every night. He's a little bit on the downside now, but still a player you've got a game plan for.
And Randolph, now 33 years old, had that knee injury a couple seasons back.
Yeah, his rebounding remains excellent, but we've seen his scoring wane just a bit, both in volume and the percentages. Not quite the go-to scorer he was a few years back, but still very effective player.
And Randolph drops them both.
Well, Zach Randolph enjoying the best years of his career and most sustained success in Memphis. A tricky choice for him this offseason, deciding whether to opt out of the final year of his contract or to become a free agent. Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Here's Conley. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Randolph, a screen on Holiday. Conley dishes to Randolph. 6 to shoot. Shot from 12. It's rebounded by New Orleans. And Memphis opting to re-sign Zach Randolph, Clark, this offseason. Nice to see him back in a Grizzlies uniform.
Yeah, I agree with you there, partner. It seems like he and that city are a terrific match. Grit and grind, Zebo doing his work on the glass and from the low block either side. And that duo of him and Gasol, that's one of the more entertaining big men pairs in the league.
Formidable, you're right.
Yep.
Evans kicks to Asik. Trying to find Davis. He's got it now. Holiday, the pass to Davis. Knocks it loose. Grizzlies have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Outside Conley. Passes it to Randolph. It's Allen on the wing. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Here's Gasol, rejected by Ashik. Evans against Conley. Shot to stop the drought. The shot no good. And Memphis the other way now. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And I think the sort of issues they had on defense, in part at least, was a bigger factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was on the road. You have to be sharper when you go out and play as a visitor.
Yeah, everything has to be tight. You can't be loose in any aspect of your game. You're fighting against the crowd and the opponent. You've got to be tougher mentally and physically if you're going to win on the road.
Carter, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. So timeout called here. The first for Memphis.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting and wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning a timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
Prince kicks to Conley. Just 5 to shoot. Free throw line jump shot. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Here's Gordon. 6 points for him. Shoots from the line. Here's Davis. Gasol with the rebound.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
That drive by Carter. The shot goes down and gets this game back to even. Carter's got his first points of the night.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
They set the pick. Holiday dishes to Evans. Back to Holiday to end the drought. The basket good off the assist from Evans. Holiday's got 5.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
For Memphis, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. The Grizzlies, grit and grind, known for being old school, post you up and lock you down type of basketball team.
Yeah, and that front court rotation, boy, the envy of the league, in my opinion. It's a big part of what makes this team really go.
Here's Carter, on target from 13 feet. Carter's got his second basket of the game. For New Orleans, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Holiday, the pass to Davis. Conley against Holiday. Evans kicks to Holiday. 5 to shoot. Back to Evans from past the arc. And another 3 for New Orleans.
But guys, for the Grizzlies, a new ownership group, and it seems maybe some tweaks to their identity. They've looked to spread the floor a bit more and pick up the tempo. But the results last season were pretty mixed.
Now here's Gasol. 17 points for him last game against Charlotte. Carter against Evans. Vince Carter again. Carter's got 6.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
And, you know, the Grizzlies last season, I thought they did pick up their pace slightly, but they were still a team at the bottom of the league in that regard in terms of fast break points and pace of play. It's really hard to get away from who you've been for so long. This is more of a half-court, grinded-out team.
Some changes for Memphis. Kufis checked in for Gasol. Lee comes in for Tony Allen. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for Ashik. Salmons comes in for Tyreek Evans. Fredette, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. And it's Rivers in for Drew Holiday. Now, here is Fredette. Boy, was he something else against Dallas. Rivers dishes to Fredette. Anderson a screen on Lee. Fredette with it. Kufis is there, and he gets it to go. And the Pelicans lead by 4.
How about that? Gets it off right in the face of the big fella. Quick release.
And operating on the perimeter like that negates some of the height disadvantage, too.
Here's Udrich. The feed to Lee. Now Udrich. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. The open jump shot off the mark. Now Now here's Rivers. Defense is right there. Good. And now a 6-point Pelican lead.
Nice soft touch to drop that one in.
Grizzlies have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. Udrich, the pass to Lee. Wide open. That's good from Udrich. On the assist by Lee.
Solid screen right there that freed him up for the jump shot.
Pelicans leading by 4. Rivers with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Fredette gets the bucket.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the 3-point variety.
Yeah, and unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come, Clark.
And so here's Memphis. After Jimmer Fredette hit the 3, Carter kicks to Udrich. And here is Lee. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte. And the shot is good. Here's Rivers. Davis setting the pick for Rivers. Right side Davis. And it's New Orleans scoring again. Six seconds left to play in the first quarter. Carter inside the 3-point line. Top of the key jumper, no good. And that does it for the first quarter. Pelicans on top, up by 7. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return.
The new season in the NBA rolls on. Rajon Rondo and the Boston Celtics take on Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls this Saturday, 7 o'clock Central.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
Boy, a ton of threes in that first quarter. This team really lighting it up, guys.
Yeah, it's been an onslaught from downtown.
The Grizzlies trail by 7. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Randolph and Kufis are inside. Udrich out there with Lee. And it's Carter in at the 3, the small forward. New Orleans has gone a terrific 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in this game. Rivers kicks to Fredette. Davis sets a screen. Anderson outside, takes a 3, tries again, and the layup is up and in. Davis has got the lead up to 7 now for New Orleans.
Good rebound there, but overall, they're getting outworked on the glass.
Steve, I think that's what you'd expect, seeing what the score is.
Anthony Davis was stellar all of last year, but he did miss a lot of time with injury trouble. And I think that's the only thing that's going to slow him down in his quest to be possibly the best player in the NBA.
And the basket good. Kufis has got his first basket of the night. And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Now here's Rivers. He's guarded by Udrich. Durant dishes to Rivers. Pass to Selmans. 6 to shoot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, Ryan Anderson really was set up to have a big year last year. When he was on the floor, he was a laser, an absolute dead-eye shooter. But when you look at last season, all you can really take away is that he struggled to stay healthy.
And that injury for Ryan Anderson, scary stuff. Hit from behind by Gerald Wallace. I can picture it in my mind right now on that rebound play. And Steve suffered a herniated disc in his neck.
That never saw it coming. It was really a scary injury, and obviously we hope that Ryan is back and healthy because he's a great player and still so young. I mean, he's got a ton of great basketball left in him and one of the best floor spacing foremen in the NBA. Ryan Anderson, one of the sweetest shooting big men in the league. Deep range with that quick release. Tell you what, at his height, he doesn't need much daylight to get it off.
Now here's Conley. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And a wide open look for Lee. Connects from three-point range.
The defense sagged off, and he did not hesitate to rise up and bury that three.
And you look at Ryan Anderson, and he's an efficient scorer. Like a lot of shooters, he doesn't turn it over much while getting his baskets.
He used that pick just right. And it's 7 points for Drew Holiday.
That's just a case of 2 teammates working perfectly together, one setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Puts up the baby hook. So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And three-point shooting maybe never more in demand than it is right now in the NBA. And Steve, considering, too, that Ryan Anderson has one of the more desirable contracts in the NBA.
Yeah, well, he's a true spread 4 who also does a nice job of getting offensive rebounds. And that's a good combination for somebody who spends so much of his time behind the arc.
The first free throw is good.
Well, Kosta Koufos was a player the Grizzlies had coveted for a couple of seasons. They ended up trading Darrell Arthur for him, and I like what they got. A starting caliber center, good value on his contract, excellent defender, really good trade for Memphis.
Tyreke Evans is checked in for John Selmans. He hits both from the stripe. And Koufos, a great rebounder, has a nice hook shot to score inside.
Yeah, he's not really a floor spacer. He's not a guy that's going to step out and knock down deep perimeter shots, even though he does have European heritage as a player and a man. But he did have a great field goal percentage in Denver, and we'll see if he can get back to that kind of shooting in Memphis.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. Conley kicks to Lee. Feeds it to Koufos. 3-on-3. Holiday against Conley. And Holiday, here we go. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Drew Holiday, part of a basketball family. Of course, he played at UCLA, but both of his parents played at Arizona State.
And for Drew Holiday, you talk about his family. His brother and sister have both won state titles. And his father, in his 50s, can still throw down a 360 dunk. Now, I'm looking at you.
No, it's not happening here. Come on. I know he's got some good DNA, but 360 dunks at 50? Although Drew is real deal. His youngest brother is a star in the making, playing in high school in Los Angeles right now.
Marc Gasol is checked in for Kosta Koufos. And so he makes both from the line.
Drew Holiday, going into last season, traded from the Sixers to the Pelicans in exchange for 2 first-round picks. A win-now move for the Pelicans, clearly. But he ended up only playing a little over 2 months after a stress fracture in his ankle.
Now here's Gasol. Here's Lee, and he banks in the layup. Lee's got 7 points in the game.
That putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
Evans against Lee. Evans goes in. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Evans has got the lead, back up to 8 now for the Pelicans. And for Holiday, an All-Star in 2013, but Steve, he's still very young.
Yeah, just going into his 6th season in the league. And remember, he only played 1 year of college at UCLA, so Still very young, still a lot of upside, very talented point guard.
5 on the clock. Lee passes to Allen. No good from outside. Pelicans leading by 8. And Holiday, here we go. And Ashik kicks to Holiday. Now the dish to Anderson. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. The Grizzlies have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Now here is Conley. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Well, good idea setting that screen, but the execution wasn't there.
Sure wasn't. I mean, you want it to be hard, but it also has to be legal.
Eric Gordon, he's checked in for New Orleans. New Orleans has gone to three-point range 7 times tonight, knocked down 5 of them. Holiday dishes to Gordon. On the wing, Evans. Here's Ashik. 8 points his last outing. Lets it go. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Misses off the left iron. The Grizzlies trail by 8. Conley, the pass to Randall. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, they're fighting for every loose ball, putting a body on somebody and going after the rim. And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. Now a starter for his whole career. Tyreke Evans spent most of last season, Clark, as a 6th man with the Pelicans.
Yeah, and you know, Kevin, they envisioned him in a bit of a Manu Ginobili role, providing scoring and playmaking off the bench, but after they were hit with some injuries, he excelled in a starting role.
Here's Conley. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, Courtney Lee, acquired by the Grizzlies last season in a trade with the Celtics, and his teammate Mike Conley has put it, Courtney was a huge, huge piece. People overlook him, but it's key that he's able to stretch the court for us. It gives Zach and Mark more space, and he can definitely lock up defensively. Kevin?
He's been a great fit as a two-way player on the perimeter, too, Doris. Thanks. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Prince is checked in. Outside Holiday. Back to Gordon. He dishes it to Holiday. Shoots from the elbow, and he nails the jumper. And now it's a 12-point Pelican lead.
And Evans, a player who makes some sense as a bench scorer. He's best with the ball in his hands, attacking off the dribble.
Over in the corner, Allen. Back to Conley. Taken away by Holiday. Miller with a screen on Conley. Holiday goes in.
Having a chance here to check out how the Grizzlies ranked in the NBA last season. 3rd in opponent points per game, 4th in fewest turnovers per game. And they were a top 10 team in field goal shooting. Pretty impressive.
I just like the way they got after it defensively. You talked about the fact they were in the top 5 in the league in opponents' points per game. So this is a club that had a plan each and every night, and they executed that plan. They played really hard. They played together. They covered up for one another. And all in all, that was an excellent defensive club.
That free throw, no good.
We watched Holiday play great basketball. He's got 13 points, and the assist numbers tremendous.
His court vision, Clark, has been phenomenal. I mean, he could not be passing the ball any better than he is right now.
And the second free throw, good.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter, but right now he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
Conley kicks to Gasol. And that one falls, coming off Conley's feet. Here's Holiday. He's got 14. They set the pick. On the wing, Eric Gordon. And Holiday kicks to Evans. And he banks in the layup. Evans has got the lead up to 13 now for the Pelicans.
Boy, after struggling in the first quarter, he's come alive here in the second.
Outside Conley. Kicks to Lee. He feeds it to Gasol. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Well, Marc Gasol missed some time last season with injury, but you can see just how important he is to a team when he's gone. I mean, the Grizzlies were nowhere near as imposing when he was sidelined by injury.
And for Marc Gasol, last season a grade 2 MCL sprain. No surgery required, but he did miss 20 games while recovering, and Memphis struggled during his absence.
And he can't get the first one. And last season for Marc Gasol, a bit of a downturn with his numbers.
Yeah, his rebounding fell off a bit, as did his shooting percentages. We'll see how he bounces back this season.
And the Grizzlies making a change here. Carter's checked in, and New Orleans also making a change. Davis is checked in for Omer Asik. Good on the second free throw.
Boy, they're really battling, guys. Not sitting back, being aggressive, attacking when they have the chance. I like that.
Yeah, and that kind of approach is going to serve them well. It's gotten them to the line more than a few times this quarter.
Now here is Holiday. He's got 14. The shot by Evans. Nobody around. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got 6 assists here tonight. The Grizzlies trail by 15. Outside Conley. Now the pass to Gasol. The baseline J. And that one's good. Gasol's got 5 points in the quarter.
Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
New Orleans has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Holiday goes in, and he gets it to go.
You know, he's showing some kind of a killer instinct this quarter, trying to stretch this lead out.
Grizzlies have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Carter sets the pick for Conley. To the paint, here's Prince. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Now here is Holiday. He's got 16. And the wide open shot from Evans. No good from outside.
Man, that's a shot you can't pass up. He should knock that down.
Conley dishes to Prince. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. Buries it from 3-point range. Carter's got 9.
What are they thinking leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession.
And now look at Drew Holiday. Some stats for him. Good season for him last year. Last year averaged 14 points a game, 8 assists and 4 rebounds. And he didn't play like he could last season, but wants to make up for it with a better year this season.
Yeah, and he just wasn't himself last year and wants to prove that was indeed the case.
Now here's Prince, the Italian on the wing. Carter outside. Back to Allen. 6 to shoot. Carter against Gordon. And it's Carter again missing. Pelicans leading by 10. And Holiday kicks to Gordon. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. 8 points for Eric Gordon.
Well, here we go again. An open path to the hoop, an easy 2 points. Where is the defense?
To the middle. Here's Prince. Cans the shot from the wing. .36 seconds left to play here in the half. Outside Holiday. He kicks it to Evans. Davis setting the pick for Evans. Jumper off the screen. No good off the back of the rim.
Really good offensive execution. Nice pick. Just couldn't get the shot to go.
Boy, you love to see that as a basketball purist. Guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
Conley into the lane. Back to Allen. Outside Conley. Just 3 on the clock, and the lead is down inside single digits.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
Oh, that takes skill and creativity, Steve, particularly on the release to make sure he doesn't get a hand on it.
And so we wrap up the first half. Pelicans lead by 8. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. An exceptional performance from Drew Holiday.
He went off in the first 2 quarters, guys, as he's capable of doing. We might see some changes here in the defensive approach they use on him in the second half.
Yeah, they've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him like he has been.
So for New Orleans right now, the backcourt, Holiday and Gordon. Evans and Davis are your small and power forwards. And it's Ashik in at the 5. Conley into the lane. 6 on the shot clock. Unloads from 13. And it's Memphis with another.
And Mike Conley last season with a career high in scoring, over 17 points a game. Because of injuries, he had to shoulder a bigger burden offensively, but he did it really well.
Now here is Holiday. Evans kicks to Holiday. Dishes it to Gordon. Drains the 19-footer. Gordon's got 10 points.
And Kevin, that was a really sweet stroke from Gordon.
Holiday against Conley. Pass to Randolph. And let's go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. Pelicans, number 1.
Yeah, I think they're still living off that reputation a little bit from last year's performance. I mean, people were afraid to go inside against them last season.
2 shots.
First one falls for him.
Although the Pelicans played some tough games against the West last season, they still showed their youth when it came to competing against the better teams.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. As you said, although the Pelicans gave some teams trouble last year in the West, but overall, Steve, the conference was just too much for them.
Yeah, 15 wins against the rest of the West, and they do have a lot of work to do before they're viewed as a threat in the conference, but they're getting there.
Now here is Holiday. 16 points for him. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Randolph with the ball, picked up by Davis. 17-foot shot on the way. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. And it's Evans in the corner. And he's going up for the alley-oop and finished off by Davis.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Yes, Kevin, Memphis coach Dave Yeager paid dues for years coaching in the minor leagues. But he did more than coach. He was the GM, ticket vendor, business manager, and halftime act. He said he loved the passion and spirit of that work. But there were also tough times. Guys, those struggles helped prepare him for where he is today.
A long road, but he's here now. Thanks, Doris. The Grizzlies have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
Well, guys, you go back to last season. I mean, this is a team that hit just 74% of its free throws. I know they'd like to see that number go up.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
Free throw drops for Randolph.
This New Orleans team is now in their second season as the Pelicans. The name, which was subject to some critique early on, has actually turned out to be nice for the franchise with a new group of players, new ownership, and it fits nicely into creating a new identity.
And Randolph drops them both. When you talk about the Pelican mascot, Steve, wingspan, a term that definitely applies to this team and the young Anthony Davis.
Yeah, it's a great name. You know, Davis was last year's leading shot blocker to go with 20 points and 10 boards a game. I mean, this guy is a potential superstar and obviously the key for this club moving forward.
The Grizzlies trail by 6. Conley kicks to Kufis. Allen passes to Prince. Prince, right side. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. There's the bucket, good. And that's now 7 points for Conley.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
And Holiday kicks to Gordon. Not enough on that one as it misses.
Well, I like the defense there. Right up in his grill, didn't give him a chance.
Prince dishes to Randolph. Allen kicks to Conley. Memphis moving it around. Here's Prince. Can't tie it up as that one misses. New Orleans leading by 3. Outside, Davis. Evans outside. Gordon with it. Conley picks him up. Here's the screen. And Holiday, here we go.
Here's a look at some stats for Zach Randolph. Solid numbers last season. Averaged 17 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. Well, we know what sets him apart. It's his rebounding, and those numbers have really been there for him.
Yeah, they sure have. He's been contributing in a few different ways, but nothing really matches the work he's done on the glass.
Free throw, good, Holiday. Lee's checked in for Memphis. Rudrick comes in for Michael Conley. New Orleans also making some changes. Anderson, he's checked in for Anthony Davis. Salmons comes in for Tyreek Evans. And it's Jimmer Fredette in for Gordon. Good on both. Well, good teams tend to have a defined style of play. Steve, the Grizzlies had grit and grind, but it seems they're going away from it now.
Kind of a throwback style, Kevin, but it suited their personnel perfectly, particularly with Randolph and Gasol down low. The slower pace lent itself to better defense for them, and they really pounded you inside, that's for sure.
And you know, the Grizzlies got swept in the Western Conference Finals back in 2013 because the Spurs just packed it in defensively. And I really think that was the impetus for the Grizzlies looking to try to play a more wide-open style. You know, even though that season in 2013 was, as a whole, the best ever for the franchise, it did expose their weaknesses and gave them something to work on.
And last season, it took the Grizzlies some time to get going. A new head coach, the injury to Marc Gasol, but they added some shooting and athleticism on the wings and really rallied strongly towards the end of the year.
The Pelicans making a switch here. Rivers checked in. Good on the second free throw.
Another finish at the bottom of the division for the Pelicans last year, but they showed that they're working towards something, and I think they could be a playoff team in the coming years.
Now here's Rivers. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Anderson a screen on Lee. On the wing, Selmans. No one near him. And he nails the jumper. And the Pelicans lead by 6.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be. Well, the Pelicans certainly have the pieces to get to the postseason, as you said. I mean, it's only a matter of time, I think, before they get it done and figured out so they can be a postseason team.
Now here's Randolph. He's got 13. Lee goes in. Almost, but it rolls out.
That's a tough one there because he's wide open. That's a shot he expects to make.
Selmans kicks to Rivers. The shot is off. Now Memphis takes it the other way. And really for the Pelicans, Steve, it'll just be about being patient and not wanting to rush into the postseason. Let their team, grow naturally.
Yeah, I agree. And, it's been a while since New Orleans has played in the postseason. 2011 was their last appearance, but just trying for a quick run with high-priced free agents would not be in their best interest.
Here's Rivers after the made shot from Zach Randolph. Here's Selmans. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. Selmans got his third basket of the night right there. The Grizzlies trail by 6. Now Udrih. Randolph passes to Lee. The feed to Koufos. Puts up the baby hook. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Koufos has got 6 points. New Orleans has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. They set the screen. Selmans with the screen for Rivers. And it's Selmans in the corner. Inside. Here's Udrih. Inside. Prince kicks to Koufos. It's stolen by Fredette. Selmans dishes to Anderson. Here's Rivers. It's rebounded by Memphis. Lee's got his third rebound on the night. Passes it to Udrih. Koufos inside. Working on Ashik. Yep, it goes in, and the Pelican lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Koufos. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. The Grizzlies last season acquiring Courtney Lee. Clark in a trade with the Celtics.
They were in a bit of a catch-22 type situation. They had athletic wing defenders and long-range shooters, but they didn't have a lot of players who could do both. So they got Courtney Lee, and he's played big minutes for him because he can do both.
Carter, he's checked in for Tayshaun Prince. Rivers with it. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Can't connect from short range.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss. And Courtney Lee acquired in exchange for Jared Bayless. He started as mostly a corner three-point shooter, but he's expanded his range and now can shoot from pretty much anywhere along the arc. The road back hasn't been an easy one, but they've managed to climb all the way out of the hole and tie this game.
I have to say, pretty remarkable, Steve. At one point, I thought they were done.
This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over here.
Well, you know what,
he's
Kevin?
disgusting.
Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
And you talk about Courtney Lee's shooting. Come on now. Excellent numbers last season from the field, the arc, and the free throw line. Arguably his best season yet overall.
Marc Gasol's checked in for the Grizzlies. Here's Udrih. Pass to Lee. feeds it to Gasol. The jump hook, count that one. Gasol's got it all tied up now for the Grizzlies.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. I mean, they don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks.
Now here's Rivers. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
Here's Lee. 1:14 left in the third quarter. Now the dish to Kufis. Clock at 6. The inside, defended by Anderson. And yes, sir, that one drops. Lee's got 9. 59 seconds left to play in the third. And here's Rivers. There's the pick. Off the pick. Rejected by Kufis. And he gets it back. Salmons against Carter. Tries again. Salmons gets the bucket. Salmons got 8 points here in this quarter.
He is remarkably hot this quarter. He has yet to miss a shot. I'd like to see them go 2 for 1 here.
I would too. They need to make this a quick possession and a fruitful one too.
Carter drives in. Lee kicks to Udoh. Outside for Gasol. It's good. This time the assist from Udoh. And that's 11 points for Marc Gasol.
And that assist earned him a little nod from his teammate after the basket.
Rivers passes to Anderson. It's Salmons on the wing. He dishes it to Usher. Ball's knocked loose. Carter outside. Kicks it to Lee. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Pelicans ahead. They're up by 1. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter.
Coming up Tuesday, November 4th, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers take on LaMarcus Aldridge and the Portland Trailblazers, East versus West. Be there.
New Orleans has gone downtown 13 times in this game, and they're just over 50%, 7 of 13 on threes. Conley and Allen are the guard set. Marc Gasol is out there with Tayshaun Prince, and it's Carter in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Outside Conley. He feeds it to Gasol. A baseline J. Pelicans pull it in. Holiday's got 4 rebounds in this game.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
And Davis can't get it to go. Memphis has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Carter with it, and Holiday picks him up defensively. Gasol is screen on Holiday. Carter dishes to Gasol. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
It's been a good night for Marc Gasol. He's got 11 points, and he's picked up 1 dime.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And how about the touch they've displayed from long range, guys? I mean, as a team, they are really shooting the ball well and executing from the perimeter.
You think about the Grizzlies, and the one thing that jumps out at you is their physicality. I mean, that's a team that loves contact and has no problem being physical.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2. For the Grizzlies, given how much Memphis loves their football, the physicality of the Grizz fits right in.
Yeah, the fans really appreciate it, and It's effective against every team in the league, particularly because the NBA has gotten much smaller and faster. So Grizzlies are playing sort of a different style, and it's been very effective for them.
A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Conley kicks to Prince to tie it up. And that one falls, coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight. Clark, one thing we've seen from these guys is excellent ball movement.
And you love to see that, Kevin. I mean, I love watching unselfish play, and I know Steve enjoys that too.
Yeah, that's the best part of the game. I mean, a five-man team game where the ball moves, there's so much unselfish play. It's beautiful to watch.
Zach Randolph is checked in for the Grizzlies. Here's Davis, a great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
And those could be an important 2 points too, guys, in a close game like this one.
Now here is Conley. Allen passes to Gasol. 14 feet away, and he gets it to go. Gasol's got the game tied up here for Memphis.
And guys, after trailing for such a long time, they have to be feeling good about tying this game up.
And it could not have come too soon. Fourth quarter with momentum now in their favor.
Boy, you don't expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Conley dishes to Allen. There's the pass to Randall. Stolen by Gordon. Outside Holiday. And here's Anderson from the arc. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
He's too dangerous a shooter to leave alone behind the arc.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Conley kicks to Gasol. Dishes it to Allen. Randolph against Davis. Randolph can't hit.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have good presence defensively inside.
Holiday, the pass to Gordon. He kicks it to Davis. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Here's Conley. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. That doesn't go either for Randolph. Pelicans leading by 5. Outside Holiday. They set the screen. And Davis wide open. He shoots. Offline with his 3. Memphis has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Outside Conley. Pass to Allen. Now the feed to Prince. 5 to shoot. Gasol dishes to Prince. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Boy, the deeper we get into this game, the more offense we're seeing.
And that goes for both teams, Steve. Everybody firing on all cylinders right now.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over.
New Orleans looked a lot better overall as a team last year than they had the years before, but still a very young club, and it hurt them when they had to travel. Did not play well on the road.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Ashik's checked in. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Monty Williams address his team. He gave his guys the green light to keep firing from downtown, telling them, listen, I like the work you're doing out there. Keep finding those gaps on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots.
Thank you, Doris. The Pelicans did run into trouble on the road, as you hinted at, Clark. Only 12 road wins on the year for them.
Yeah, they struggled through a number of tough injuries to key personnel. Amazingly, though, that was an improvement from the year before. So you can be patient. Maybe one more year with this young group as it develops and matures, and they'll be ready to turn the corner. Tyreke Evans is an athletic slashing guard. He's really gifted at getting to the rim. But I think his outside shot, the inconsistency of his outside shot has held him back a bit. Ironically, he's a pretty good free throw shooter, but still lacks that touch from mid-range on field goal attempts.
The Grizzlies trail by 5.
And Evans has worked diligently on his shooting. He had a bad habit of fading back on every jump shot early in his career, so he's tried to shoot with a more traditional motion.
New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And Holiday kicks to Gordon. Passes it to Evans. Off the left rim and out. And Evans over his career has bounced around a little bit position-wise. He played point guard at Memphis and coming into the NBA and then some small forward. What do you think his best position is?
I think he's one of those guys that probably is a playmaking small forward or two guard. He's got ball handling skills that allow him to make plays. He can score. He's strong. His wingspan allows him to play bigger than he is. But I think he's a playmaking 2 or 3.
Now here is Conley, following the miss by Zach Randolph. Randolph sets a screen for Conley. Randolph, a screen on Gordon. 6 to shoot. Conley gets the bucket.
I wasn't so sure he could get it turned around after that poor first half, but he's got it rolling here a little bit in the second.
Holiday, the pass to Usher. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Outside Conley. Randolph a screen. Conley dishes to Randolph. It's Allen on the wing. Shoots. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
Well, it's been a tale of 2 halves, hasn't it, guys? After a terrible first half, he's really picking it up.
And Holiday kicks to Evans. Back to Holiday. They set the screen, and they call an illegal screen here.
Well, good idea setting that screen, but the execution wasn't there.
No, it sure wasn't. I mean, you want it to be hard, but it also has to be legal.
Memphis has gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Gasol kicks to Allen to take the lead. That's good. Allen's got the lead up to 2 now for Memphis.
Gotta love this team's grit. After trailing early, they have fought all the way back here.
You know, they could have gotten down on themselves when they were down earlier, but I like the fact they never gave up, guys.
Now here's Evans. Davis setting the pick for Evans. Gasol with the defensive effort.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Pass to Randolph. Little turnaround, and it's rebounded by Drew Holiday. Holiday's got 5 rebounds tonight.
Things have kind of gone south for him here in the quarter.
And the basket by Gordon.
Big time bucket inside. He had to get that one over the top, and he did.
And in the face of a defender who was towering over him, too.
Now here is Conley. Feeds it to Allen. The dish to Randolph. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Well, ever since the second half started, he's been ice cold. Very little going his way right now.
Davis with a screen on Gasol. In the corner, it's Gordon. Back to Holiday. Right side, Holiday. Got a piece of it. Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. With on Preston, Zach Randolph displaying his skills today.
He's on fire. They needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hands.
Pocket 2 for 3. Gordon.
Well, remember, he made 2 3-pointers in the first half, but has not been able to get anything to fall here in the second.
Conley kicks to Randolph. From the line, and that one falls, coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got 5 assists in the game. The Pelicans trail. New Orleans moving the ball around. Davis, the pass to Holiday. In the corner, Ashik with it. On the wing, Eric Gordon. Outside Holiday. Evans outside. Holiday against Allen. Holiday goes in, and he gets the bucket.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
Tremendous job at the foul line as usual. You can always bank on him in these situations.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. They trailed by 1. 1:22 left to play here in the fourth.
Make some noise for the boys!
.22 left in the fourth quarter. Holiday against Conley. He dishes it to Randolph. And it's Memphis with another.
Not much luck with his shooting here. 2 of 7, and seems to have gotten into his head a little bit.
For New Orleans, they've gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the fourth, sinking the majority of their shots. There's the pick. Davis with a screen on Conley. And Holiday, here we go. Zach Randolph with the rebound. Memphis has gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Turns outside. Kicks it to Randolph. Buries it.
Time after time, Zach Randolph getting it done.
51 seconds left in the fourth. Davis setting the pick for Holiday. Right side Holiday. Right side Holiday. Shot clock at 6. Some solid defense from Randolph.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic.
Now here's Conley. And it's Randolph penetrating. Prince kicks to Randolph. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul him, and free throws are better than a layup.
At the line for your Grizzlies, Zach Randolph. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Second one is good. They both at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
Timeout call here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. They're behind by 5. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And obviously time is the big factor here, guys. They need to get points fast and then go for the steal, and if not, a quick foul.
Hard as it is, you just have to hope the guy you send to the line doesn't convert.
Holiday with the 3. Davis kicks to Holiday for 3. Kicks it out to Evans. Over Conley. It's off! So it's Memphis picking up the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, I'm here with Mark Gasol. And Mark, how would you break down this game in terms of the team's performance and ability to come away with this win?
Just a good all-around night. We believe that in the fourth quarter, I think we did a good job of, staying in the game. We just believe. On to the next one.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. Now, our Jordan player of the game, Zach Randolph.